What's up? Northern Fishing. How you doing? Go. That's right. What's up, AJ? Lee, what's up? I'm gonna let some more people get up in here before I start. Then I'll have to restart the whole thing all over again. How's everybody's night doing? Pretty good. Pretty good. A long trip home yesterday. Got home, unloaded the truck. Let's scooch you guys down here a little bit. I feel like sitting. My legs are still killing me from the fishing mission. Got home, unloaded everything, chilled, had a smoky smoke, and then took a shower, and I passed out. I don't even remember what time I got up today. It's probably in the afternoon for sure. I wasn't really sleeping good out there. I could hear a pin drop when I was out there. Yeah, so for AJ and Northern Fishing, I took a trip out to Kentucky for a week. Yeah, it does. I didn't even realize it. I'm usually looking up at the sky. Daddy Dill, what's up, Josh? You at work? Waxing on, waxing off? Well, for people are in here, 10 people in, one thumbs up, all right. If you could smash that thumbs up, that would help me. But yeah, I went out Saturday last week, headed to Kentucky, got there, unloaded, went, got my fishing license. And Sunday morning, we tried uh, like a cutoff from the main Tennessee River. We tried underneath the bridge, just messing around, throwing artificials. Didn't really get nothing. Moved around to another spot, didn't get nothing. It was like that probably the majority of the time I was out there, we were getting skunked bad. Losing stuff, breaking stuff. Well, I wasn't. My buddy was. I was losing a little bit, but then I would say all the way up until Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night. Wednesday night we went out and we got tore up. Didn't catch anything. Got two poles dragged in. My buddy lost a bunch of gear. Fish were jumping everywhere. It sounded like 3, 4 cinder blocks at one time getting dunked into the river. So these fish are huge. They're jumping around, laughing at us. So we called it a night, came back the following day. We're like, instead of setting up here, we'll try the pier, which was a little bit to the left of us. Got on there. Well, my buddy got on it first, caught himself like a 3, 4, maybe 5 pound. Didn't scale at all. He was a small guy. Still a neater though. Then and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna load all my stuff up and we'll just tag team the pier together. You set up where you're at, and I'll set up away from you, but a little bit further downriver. Then I laid into my catfish about hour and a half being there at the point. Brought about 8, 9 pound channel cat in, and then throughout the rest of the night, it was just taps and more taps and nothing really dedicated to the bait. So we called it and then went home, filleted them guys. And then the next day we came back, set up at the same pier. And it's like my buddy hit one, I hit one, then he got another one. And it was insane. It turned on so fast and then shut off. It wasn't even funny. So we caught another 9 pound and some odd ounce catfish. We caught a 12 pound and some odd ounce catfish. And then we hooked up on a 26 and some odd pound catfish. And then it just shut off just like that. And then it was like every hour and a half you would get a good whack. And then yeah, it just shut off and called it a night, got back up and just chilled for the day. Cleaned the backyard, built a little bonfire up, pulled out all the catfish we filleted. We had a fish fry. And then after we couldn't move or breathe anymore, we sat in the backyard in our chairs and just lit a fire and shot the shit and had fun. But I was just jumping on here, seeing what everybody's on. I was gonna go fishing, but man, these legs just aren't cooperating with me. I might just say hell with it and just grab the bait, the old good old bait, and jump back out there and go for it. I got my phone on a charger right now, so hopefully I'm at reasonable 76. I'll be I'll be good for a while. Yeah, I had fun. The non fun part was not catching anything. Then when we caught something, we were on. Uh, who's all up in here? Two people, three thumbs up. I wonder where the norms are. The catfish was great, by the way. I appreciate you and sorry about that night, dude. Don't even worry about it. It was probably more misunderstanding than anything, dude. It's just I didn't know what kind of mood you were in. I figured I knew you wanted to hang out and shit wasn't working that way. And I figured, fucking you couldn't come because of work. And I wasn't wanting you to eat fucking cold catfish and shit. So I figured after we got done eating, whatever was left, there was way more left, but I gave you the better good shit that was really cooked. The other shit was cooked, but the breading was falling off because we fucking ran out of shit. We should have grabbed way more. And then I was just like, let's go cheer up fucking Lee. I don't know how he's doing, but I'm gonna drop off some hot food to him. And then that happened, and I was like, and I was just like, whatever, dude. Fucking it is what it is. And like I said, more misunderstanding probably than anything else. So well, I'm happy you enjoyed it. We all fucking enjoyed it for real. That it's been a minute since we had catfish. Everybody. Sam even snuck a couple pieces in there. What are you guys doing tonight? Chilling around the house, sitting in the dark. It was your first time eating catfish? What? Get out. You're from Kentucky, and that was the first time you ate catfish? Damn. Well, Mike's got a shit ton more. If you want more, just you know who to call. Be like, hey man, I want a couple fillets. Terry said, cough them up. And then if you want to, I could you video chat me over Messenger, and I could help you doctor them up a little bit. Because we just took the meat off. We didn't even bother about trimming stuff. We just like I said, we were up until like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, flaying catfish. And I looked at my phone, was looking through YouTube, looking at stuff, what's popping, what's not. Shut my phone off, and I turned and I looked in between like the wall and the fucking sheet, and I seen the sky and it was blue, and I'm like, oh hell no. Hell no. Slim Jim, what's up, brother? Because he's probably wondering what I'm doing. It's my neighbor. He's like, this dude's talking to himself. It's like, no, I'm on YouTube Live, man. Want to say, come on, speak up. You're on candid camera now. I do honestly, good one. That was good. You got me. You definitely did. But I was just waiting. You may never know, dude. I wasn't paying attention to the background. Damn, I got caught on that one. Good one. I'll give you knuckles on that one, man. That was good. Got me. That's what I've been trying to do, man. That's what I've been trying to do. Look it. We came. I went out to Kentucky, did some fishing. You just got in here. Had a week. Most of it was shit. Excuse my French. And then we caught one fish. It wasn't the particular fish we wanted, but we caught a fish. And then the next 2 nights we laid into them. But then it's like this whole YouTube thing, man. I'm telling you. I was talking to my buddy. He's at work right now, but I mentioned it about it. He was on YouTube with doing his truck, an S10 pickup truck. Then I was, being positive, telling him grind it, bro. Yeah, it's hard. The views ain't gonna come, and they'll eventually come, but you gotta grind it. And we were talking about coming up with our own merch and stuff, and it started hitting his brain. And when I went out there to see him, he came up and got 2 shirts. It says SBS for my stream, and then did you catch anything? Yeah, we sat up on Messenger, just shooting the shit, video chatting. He was on his computer, and he was just coming up with stuff, and he turned the computer or the screen around and was like, what do you think about this? And we collabed together and put our mind together, and this is what we came up with. There you go. Better than nothing, man. And even if you didn't catch anything, you still got caught a little peace of mind while you were out there. But yeah, I've used a pink floating worm, and dude, that I was catching little buck bass like maybe this big, but dude, you lay in the 20 of them little guys a day. I'll take 20 small ones over nothing. Even like I said, even not catching anything, just getting out there and freeing your mind from the daily BS is a win. So, Slim Jim, where are you from? What state? There you go. Have yourself a little fish pond. Alabama. My dad's brother moved down there and then he passed away. But dude, he always was talking about wanting to move down to Alabama, and he finally was able to. Yeah, yeah, dude. From what my dad said when he went down there, that's a. He's like, man, I got lost because I was driving in the dark. He's like, but man, that place, dude, gorgeous. Oh man, I don't even know. Like he didn't even live down there that long. Probably I wouldn't even say 3, 4 months. But he even said he's like it's so damn far from a hospital, and you got to drive this far to go to a doctor. So he was somewhere in the thicket, and there had to be water around because he wouldn't have brought his boat down there for nothing. Yeah, sweet home Alabama. That is right. But I've always wanted to like go down south, like in one of them states, like Louisiana, Alabama, somewhere thereabouts, and just dude, just go up on the bayou for a couple weeks. Down in the bayou. I'm from Chicago, unfortunately, because this state is just I just don't like it. Don't like it. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, you said it, Chirac. No, instead of Chicago, it's shit Chicago. Like, it's just shit here. But I try not to get on that topic. Mostly fishing, because yeah, that's my peace of mind right there. The other thing I enjoyed while being out in Kentucky, I was able to fish during the night. I loved it. I wanted to sleep on the ground. Hell with the sleeping bag. I'll just use my backpack for a pill. That would have sucked, but it still would have been a pill nonetheless. And I would have slept out there. It's like, I can't do night fishing out here. I would try to sit here and mess with my phone, but I don't want to screw up the live. I would bring up the green screen and all that and show you the catfish and stuff that we caught. I just usually go live and do this or show me fishing, and I don't try to do anything special because then I don't know. Like I said, I don't know really know how to work all the gadgets on here. I'm gonna figure it out though. Now I'm gonna start playing with stuff. Nope, that ain't it. Makeup, lenses. Nope. Swipe. Get that out of there. Hey man, I love fishing. I caught an 8 pound flathead a while back. It was pretty fun. I live like 5 minutes from a couple spots. There you go. Make it even funner. Go instead of bringing out the heavy rods, start downsizing in rods and lines. My dad taught it. Well, I learned all pretty much all my fishing, like catfishing stuff, from my dad, and now a little bit from YouTube. All the bass stuff I pretty much either learned myself or learned from YouTube because my dad wasn't really into that. He's more crappie, bluegill, catfish, old man type stuff. No, I'm just joking. But he used to fish with a light rod, probably 8 pound test, no braid, just mono or the other bullshit. And then, yeah, he would piece of shrimp on a Kaylee hook, flip it out about 5, 10 feet, let it sink, and let it sit until he got a hit, and then hang on because dude, he was pulling in. I, I wish I have pictures, but I don't know where they're at. I'd bust them out and show you. He catching some big ones on them things, like 10, 15 pounders on light gear. That's fun. Yeah, mine's still around, but sometimes he's a little pain in the ass, and you know, you know how that goes. You want to give him a big hug and a swift kick in the ass sometimes. Bush hooks or trout lines? No, I don't do all that fancy stuff. You know, I just grab a fishing pole, put some line on it, get a hook. I got my poles behind me. Well, one of my poles, the other one's my dad's, but this this was pretty much the setup we ran while we were in Kentucky. It's basically a Carolina rig, right? You got a floater with a you got a sinker slider going with a leader to a float. I made this float myself, and then just a hook, and then toss it out and let it do its work. Now I didn't have this bobber on here when I first started out there, and then my buddy had bought a rig like this, and I've made one. Like I said, this I've already had it in my mind about trying to use floats. And when my buddy hooked up on his first catfish out there, it was uh, it was off a bobber rig. So I switched my stuff to a bobber, and then we started tagging more fish. You just find the rig that's working and stay with that rig, and it'll produce. But yeah, what I pretty much did was took a regular spring bobber that was weighted, and I cut the plastic piece off. And what held the spring bobber and stuff and the weight together fell out. There's a little bit of plastic you can see still right there from the bobber. And then I stuck a glass bead. I don't know if you could see it. There's an orange glass bead right here. And I stuck it inside the float. Because what was happening when the fish were hitting, I don't know how or why. Was it on this one? Nope, not this one. But you can see right here the line ripped through the bobber. So I got to downgrade this bead, right? so it'll slip inside the bobber, and then hopefully that'll prevent the line from pulling on the side of the bobber and ripping it even more. But you know, you can come up with your own ideas. You just got to sit there and improvise, think a little bit. This is my dad's pole, the Silver Cat. I don't know what braid line he's got on it. I don't know if it's 50, 60, but it's let's see here. All right. Well, there ain't even eh, it says a medium rod. So this is a medium catfish rod, I guess. It doesn't really have info on if it's a what action it is, but this is my rod. And this is a Zepco hog seeker with 65-pound braid, and I use a 30-pound leader on it. And yeah, just to, see, it's a medium heavy action, and it's a 7-footer. But I bought this, and I had no problem with any of them fish that I caught off of it while I was out there. You just set the reel, you know what I'm saying, the drag and all that, and hang on for the ride. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Thank you. I plan on I plan on doing a little something different with the bobbers that I seen from the rig my buddy was using. He bought it from a bait shop, and when I seen it, I'm like, like, and that accident happened with the bobber, and I was like, well, I could kind of use his idea, but still use the stuff that I'm using because it's like the material of a spinner, inline spinner, a rooster tail, whatever anybody calls it, a Met spinner, and they take that piece of rod and they stick it through the bobber, and before they do the little loops at the end, they throw a couple beads on there. So when the bobber slot, if it does, they positioned it to a fixed position. But if it was to slide up and down that rod, it wouldn't be hitting the point where you tie your knot and damaging it. So they put a rod in there and tied 2 loops at the end, so you could tie your line on both each, and then they the one side they pre-rigged it with a metal leader and a hook. So I was like, well, instead of my line going through, I could stick a piece of metal like they did through there, make the, you know, twist at the end, and then just improvise with that setup with mine. Just tweak it a little bit. Yeah. The I don't know where I got the pole holders. I don't know if that was Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's, but I could use up to 3 rods on that. But here at this state, I could only use 2 rods at one time, which is stupid because it's like you're allowed up to 2 hooks on one pole. So if you got 2 poles, that's 4 hooks. So why can't I just have 4 poles with 1 hook? That's how I think. Just like it's the same thing. But it is what it is, I guess. Nope, sorry, bud. Amen. Oh yeah, like that. It's good for the dam on here. Yeah, I want to be finding some dams so I could fish more of them. There was one near my house, but they knocked it down, and like there's no real dams around here to fish unless I probably drive 45 minutes to an hour south. But what's up? Well, I think I'm gonna cut this thing short and then possibly load up my catfish shit and go fishing. So whoever showed up, I appreciate it. Whoever gave the thumbs up, shared it out, appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, guys.